Alright, welcome back to Tarot Academy, everyone. I'm Spencer, your host as always, and thank you for joining us yet again. If you are a returning subscriber, or if you're new here, welcome. Today, the topic we will be covering is in regards to pregnancy. I have had a million pregnancy private readings lately. I don't understand if everyone has turned into a Catholic rabbit lately, but apparently everyone's having kids, or everyone is attempting to have kids. So, I am going to try and offer you some clarity today, because I know many of you have said that you can't afford a reading, but you want clarity. So what better way to do that than a pick a card reading? We have, in fact, all our usual stones here. However, I did receive a request regarding the rejection of black onyx for the pregnancy reading due to the supposed negative energies, so I will in fact acquiesce to that request and replace black onyx today with regular quartz. This is pink quartz, this is regular quartz. Subtle difference, but it exists. Now, so let's look into your pregnancy. If you are trying to conceive unsuccessfully at the moment, if you are currently pregnant, if you are uncertain if you are in fact pregnant. By the way, if you are uncertain, go buy a pregnancy test. I mean, seriously. So many people ask me, do a reading, am I pregnant? You can go buy a test for $15. I mean, my readings start at $80 US. It's like, go buy a damn test, honestly. Anyway, so the usual pick a card, 9-card format is what we will embark on. And let's see about your complications, your struggles, your triumphs, etc., your journey of reproduction. And we'll start with pile number 1. This will be green aventurine. Pile number 2 will be pink quartz. Pile number 3, red jade. And of course, pile number 4, regular quartz. So take a moment, find out which energy resonates with you the best. And if you have chosen green aventurine, we're going to begin with that in just a few seconds. Oh, okay, so this is a good thing here. There's a reason I felt that we needed to continue this draw, because now I have the whole picture for you, Green Aventurine. Let's begin, and let's see what the cards have in store for you as far as your pregnancy goes. If you are pregnant, any complications you may or may not have. It's interesting, when I see green aventurine, obviously it's green, right? This is reflective of life. Springtime, when things go from the dead of winter, the barren of winter, to the first buds of life on the trees, green leaves, green grass, etc. I don't want to speculate yet. Let's see what the cards say. Sometimes, well, I'm never wrong with the energies I feel of the cards during my shuffle. I can always accurately describe what I'm about to see, but I don't necessarily like to preface it, because these readings, I like to keep them around 10 minutes, maybe 15 at the absolute most. That seems to be the sweet spot and what people enjoy most. It allows me a good amount of time to detail everything accurately as well. But let's see what things are. Oh, well, interesting. The Queen of Swords in the first position. So the first energy we come across is, of course, feminine. Queen, of course. And an interesting suite in regards to pregnancy, the Sword. Rather than pontificate for an hour about what this exactly means, I want to subject this to a contextual reading and continue drawing to see what we have next. I would certainly say that this is obviously emblematic of you. We have literally asked the deck a question about reproduction, and the first card, the leadership energy, is a female. I mean, other than the Empress or perhaps another female sweet card, maybe Strength, I don't think there would be better guiding energy for this reading. So, obviously pregnancy is on your mind. The sword indicates guiding thoughts, charging thoughts, what currently is dominant in your mind. So, feminine energy, reproduction, and remember, this woman's occupation is a queen, right? She rules over people. She tends to people, her people in her kingdom as her children, right? So you can look at that as a metaphor or an allegory for your current situation, which is a question regarding pregnancy, of course. So we'll leave that here in the first position. Ah, the Five of Cups. Reversed, of course. How appropriate. We have emotional dissonance, emotional distress, and a feeling of isolation. Right, the Five of Cups reversed. This is a little bit better. I would certainly say this heralds much better news than typical regarding pregnancy. I would say that if you feel as though your emotions have been running amok, running wild, etc., you can look forward to a period of relative mental peace. This is a 5 in the 2 position, right? And it's reversed, which is important. 2, in numerology, the second position in this draw is that of peace, right? So to see a heavy emotional impact card reversed in that second position, that tells me that there's a mental clarity coming, a period of mental stability, a period of emotional stability. If your mind right now is currently a maelstrom, like a dark thunderstorm of emotion, picture it as a radiant white crystal, similar to perhaps regular quartz, right? This is a soothing, etheric stone in appearance. There's nothing chaotic about this stone at all. Contrast that with, say, what I believe is a piece of amethyst, just a cheap piece here. Look at the chaos in this stone, right? It's multiple colors. If you were to look at this, I don't know how well it translates through the camera, but you would quickly see that this is a very chaotic stone. It certainly has none of the clarity of quartz, right? So that's what I see for your mind going forward. I see a period of clarity. We'll block this into the second position here. Ah, fantastic. So we have the 10 of Cups upright. So this is in the third position, interestingly enough. The third position is known for creativity, but also a little bit of deception. Now, the 10 of Cups, this is about as great as familial harmony gets. I mean, we have a mother, the divine feminine, a father, the divine masculine, and finally the 2 children, the product of the marriage, the product of the relationship, the literal fruit of the womb, yes? Not to be confused with the underline, fruit of the loom. I assure you that is quite different. Now, we have the 10 of Cups, of course, that's 10 emotions, the full gamut, the full rainbow, the full spectrum of emotion there. If this was an LGBTQ reading, this might mean a little bit different. I learned that from a friend who's actually a gay reader. Quite interesting, actually, hearing it from that perspective. But that aside, this is a fantastic omen. It's certainly a good omen. I wish this was a private reading, because then we could go much further in depth on what the future of your child would be, and what the future of their relationship with yourself and your husband, or your significant other, would be. But those are private reading things. Oh, the 9 of Swords reversed in the 4th position. This is great news. This is something that I particularly love to see when I do readings on people who seem to have chronic nightmares, sleep terrors. It's really just the astral realm reflecting in the dream state or real life. But anyway, we have here a woman awoken in the night, a terrible dream, a terrible thought. Something has shunted her awake, right? And she's dealing with the aftermath of that dream. And those dreams flashing through her mind each are represented by a sword, right? A cutting, dangerous, and scary event, scary thought, memory, tool, etc. However, it's reversed, right? So there are 3 things I want to cover here in depth with this. This is really important. So first of all, this is a 9 card, right? 9 is completion, 9 is the end. So to see the 9 reversed, any night terrors, any negative thoughts, any worries, concerns, trouble sleeping, that's coming to an end, coming to an absolute end. So if you are fearful of not being able to get pregnant, if you're fearful of having a difficult pregnancy, if you're fearful of perhaps your husband, boyfriend, baby daddy, significant other in the relationship having a negative reaction to news of this pregnancy, I would certainly put that to rest now. This is also a hidden 6. 9 reversed is a 6. 6 is the number of the family and the home in numerology. So with this child, you will either be expanding your family and your home, or expanding Or it could be, of course, the first child, right? Which would also be an expansion, but this could be your second pregnancy. It could very well be your first as well. Either way, a new life is being brought into this world through you and your partner. That is creation, right? That is expansion. So that is covering the 6 and the 9, and then finally I want to cover the 4th position, because this is the 4th card we have drawn. So 4 in numerology is law and order, right? All good things that stem from law, order, peace, security, etc. So to have a 9, a hidden 6 in the 4th position, these are three very important energies that mesh perfectly in this case, all to your benefit. So that's an excellent omen, to say the least, for sure. I do wish this was a private reading. I mean, this would be fantastic. I do love when the private readings are positive, because it makes it so much easier for me. The natural flow state, you can't understand. It's like wading in the waters of Hanoma Bay in Hawaii, and you see a sea turtle underneath you. It is absolutely gorgeous. And it flows. It flows, right? Human beings were not naturally in the water. Maybe we left it at one point. I have no idea. But when you see something from the water move in it, you just know it's natural and it flows. And that's the state of this reading right now, the state of the energy involved. Nothing makes me happier than this. And yet another bountiful card. It would appear that the goddess Fortuna is certainly in your favor today, Green Aventurine. So the 3 of Wands, reversed. In the 5th position, 5 is the position of beauty and travel in numerology. However, we'll take the card at a little bit more face value here. So what do we have here? We have an individual flanked by 3 wands. Wands are spiritual development, and they're peering out into the distance, right? Into the vast distance. And I understand this is reversed, but I'm going to be going through this relatively quickly, because it's just another little positive thing I'm going to pin on you. Right, so anyway, if we look at this, it appears an individual looking through the prism, feeling trapped. And while you might say he could simply walk between these 2 wands, that's not the case. Remember, we're all human. Sometimes we build mental prisons that from the outside appear so easy to escape, yet ask anyone within one, it's bloody well impossible to escape, isn't it? Anyway, this is a rejection of that prison mentality, a rejection of feeling constrained, feeling cloistered. Whatever it is that's been holding you back, I would suggest that you prepare for it to remove itself. That energetic block, that spiritual block, that negative energy. Think of it as an energy succubus. Something that, while it may seem pleasurable, comfortable, etc., it takes a lot out of you. I could make an allegory actually to pregnancy there, but I don't think it's necessary. The readings here have been so positive. It's just fantastic. The 9 of Pentacles reversed. So this is typical of pregnancy, right? I mean, during a pregnancy, a woman is, of course, obviously far more vulnerable than ever, right? It doesn't matter whether it's a human or a female lioness pregnant with a litter of cubs. Pregnant humans, pregnant animals are at their most vulnerable, they're least free, and it's the most expensive and taxing time of any living creature's life. Whether it's a human being having to financially prepare and sustain a new child, or a lioness in Africa, she consumes far more food during her pregnancy than she would if she were not pregnant, right? So, and of course, freedom of movement is heavily restricted here. So what do we have? The 9 of Pentacles upright. A woman in a positive financial space, financially sound. A woman who is free, represented by the eagle, the goshawk there. A woman in control, in command of her own destiny. A 9 as well. The final phase of every individual should be financial freedom and freedom of destiny. Comfort, right? We reverse that, however, what do we have? We have the 9 reversed as the hidden 6. Remember this. So the hidden 6 is the number of family, right? You're pregnant in this scenario, or you desire to be pregnant. You desire to expand the family. Remember this. It's a very crucial lesson. I really want to drill it into your head. The 9 of Swords reflected this as well. So reversed, we have the financial strain and hardship, material hardship that comes from being pregnant and having another child. And this also reflects the tax on your body as well. Your body will go through an enormous number of changes, Obviously, I don't need to explain this to you from a man's perspective. You know this. But that is what the pentacles represent. Not only money, not only physical changes. The eagle, of course, representing freedom. Your freedom as a pregnant individual is extraordinarily restricted, right? I mean, you're 9 months pregnant, you're not running any marathons. And if you are, very impressive, but I don't think I would want to be that kid involved in a ride that bumpy. Now, there's not much more that need to be said there, right? There is financial, physical strain, a lack of freedom as well. What more need be said? All right. The Ace of Swords. Interesting. I would say this has a conjunction, of course, with the Queen of Swords that we drew earlier. Though I feel this is a bit contextual. I also feel the presence of male energy, spontaneous male energy. I would dare say that this might be a son that you're going to have. Because remember, this is also a sword, right? Phallic energy. Interesting. I think this is going to be a contextual card, so I'm not going to speculate too much on it now. In fact, I'm going to draw the next card as well, and we'll go from there, right? Remember with tarot, the 7th, for example, this is the 7th card, and the 9th card can have a joint meaning, right? And it's the reader who interprets the energy, and the energy I'm interpreting is joint. So we're going to keep going. Interesting. So it is fortunate, but it appears that you have a positive accumulation of karma that will lead you away from any deceit during this time of change, right? During this time. So I understand that we've deviated a bit from speaking directly about pregnancy, but being pregnant is just one thing. There are a whole gamut of emotions and experiences that go with it, right? It is not simply carrying another child for 9 months and giving birth. We all understand it is a great undertaking, right? So this is the 2 of Swords reversed. Now, that's interesting. Actually, it is likely we can pair this perfectly with the Ace of Swords reversed here, but I still feel as though there's one more sword card coming, or a meaning of the sword suites. Oh, okay, so this is a good thing here. There's a reason I felt that we needed to continue this draw, because now I have the whole picture for you, Green Aventurine. Now I understand 100% what I'm looking at here. Okay, this is the Tower reversed. So first and foremost, rather than elaborating on all 3 cards here, I'm going to tell you exactly what their joint meaning is, because that's what you really want to hear. And that is led by the Tower, right? The Tower here. Traditionally, the Tower would not be a very good reading in a pregnancy reading. However, what do we see here? We have 4 cards, 4 reversals, 4 reversed cards in a row. 5 if you count the 3, 5, 6. 6 reversed cards in a row. Interesting. So we look at 6 in numerology, the number of the family, right? And then we look at all of the cards here that we have drawn in the reversed position. All of these upright would indicate hardship in the context of pregnancy. However, to see them all reversed, what I see here is a smooth, positive, trouble-free pregnancy. And the dominant energy of that comes from the Queen of Swords here, her power, her strength, her wisdom, coupled with the positivity of the family here, the positivity of the relationships surrounding you, the emotional positivity in the 10 of Cups here, and the control of emotion, the mastery of emotion. Though you may not feel you're entirely in control, know that, and take it from someone who has experience, who has done over at least 500 pregnancy readings, you're doing a hell of a lot better than most. Much of the time, great hidden meanings are revealed when I have private sessions with people regarding their pregnancies. And sometimes it's men whom I do readings for because they're concerned for their wife or their girlfriend, whomever, their partner. But I would talk more at length about the ease of the coming pregnancy or your current pregnancy. And certainly I would say that if you are having difficulty conceiving, I would ask you to embody the Queen of Swords, right? This is a woman who is dominant, who takes her lead, takes her role, right? She makes the effort, she makes the first move. That is the energy you should encapsulate here if you are having difficulty conceiving. Otherwise, however, congratulations, Green Aventurine. This is going to be an extraordinarily easy pregnancy for you. And I say easy by any standard, not just relative to some of the disasters that I have seen. But I would say if you want to book a private reading for more specifics on your pregnancy, particularly relating to your birth chart and your child's conception or birth chart, click the link down below to book a private reading. Otherwise, Green Aventurine, please hit that like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Put that positive energy out there for me. And if you have an idea of what you would like to see in the next pick a card reading, comment down below. Otherwise, comment your thoughts on this video, on this reading. I do like to read and see what people have to say. And if you are one of those people who wants to see what another stone says, I strongly recommend you don't. It's not good to muddy energies of two particular readings. I would consider sticking with this one, Green Aventurine. Otherwise, everyone, I thank you so much for your patience, your time, and your understanding. Have a fantastic day. About the Emperor alone as well. This could be a bloody hour-long reading. As for how it affects you and your child, well, that's quite heavy as well. Not something I'd necessarily want to put on YouTube. That's private reading stuff here. All right, Pink Quartz, pile number 2. Welcome aboard. And again, this is pink quartz, not regular quartz. Regular quartz is pile 4. This is pile 2, pink quartz. So, let's see what the cards have in store for you surrounding your pregnancy, your attempts to get pregnant, your current pregnancy, whatever your situation is. Remember, we will be covering it here. We will see what the cards say in the context of a woman who is pregnant, wanting to get pregnant, having difficulty with her pregnancy, having difficulty getting pregnant. We're going to cover everything here. We cover the full range. We just go with what the cards say. I interpret the energy and the will of the cards. That's all I do here. Of course, I do so honestly, so if there is something that I know you're not going to want to hear, I'm going to tell you. I don't care about your feelings. I really don't. I'm sorry, but I cannot care about your feelings. I'm not allowed to. And any tarot reader who does, well, they're not very good at reading tarot. That's all that I can say. Interesting. All right, let's begin, Pink Quartz. And you know what? Rarely do I get this feeling, but I feel as though I should cut the deck here, which is what I'm going to do. Take roughly half there and stack the remainder. So, let's see what's in your cards today, Pink Quartz. Well, all right. More dominant energy. Dominant female energy. Obviously, tarot, spirit, the universe is sending us a consistent message today because we have the Queen of Swords upright. This card was also the first card I had drawn for Green Aventurine, so it would depend. It would certainly seem that there is a universal energy afoot today. I wonder actually what day it is today. Today is the 13th. Typically I don't do readings on the 13th, but I'm certainly not doing any private readings today because of the energies, but You can click the link down below if you want one of those pregnancy private readings. Lord knows I should just not even do this reading and repeat Green Aventurian's reading, because the message is apparently the same. Congratulations, however, Pink Quartz, on rejecting temptation and rejecting the devil's message for the sake of your child. Very impressive. We have the Seven of Cups reversed in the second position. That's 2. Now, I don't know if I necessarily want to expand on this right away, or if I want to proceed contextually. It's the conflicting energy here. The Seven of Cups, of course, is the king of conflicting energy. We have 7 different distractions here, 7 different experiences from the human perspective. Human here. Forget about the male gender. Tarot is not necessarily gender specific in many of the cards. The Empress and the Emperor, of course, are, but this one is not. We have here 7 temptations. Now, 7 deadly sins are, of course, a allegory present here, but let's look at what we have. We have the devil, represented by the dragon. We have glory or pride, represented by the laurel wreath. Greed, wealth, in the cup there, the jewels. I won't go there. Won't go there. The devil again, and a snake. The unknown there. The 7. 7 is wisdom in numerology, right? So you are wise to reject these temptations and these concerns surrounding your pregnancy. I would certainly say that if you are attempting to get pregnant and you are having difficulty conceiving, do not divert your energies, right? Embody the Queen of Swords. Take your sword, take action for yourself. Do what is necessary to achieve the desired outcome, right? And sometimes that might mean you have to get on top, literally and figuratively. And it would appear that the world is telling us the same. This is the world, the 21st card in tarot. 2 plus 1 is 3. We have drawn this in the 3rd position, right? So that's 2 3s already. 33 is a master number in numerology. So divine masculine energy is 1, right? 1, the phallic energy, the penis, etc. Male energy is 1. Female energy is 2, right? Divine feminine energy. 1 plus 2 is 3, right? It takes a man and a woman to make a child, right? So 1 man, 1 woman equals 1 child, another 3. How is it we have so many 3s present here? What is the deck trying to tell us? It's also a 13 day, interestingly enough. The presence of yet another 3. I wish this was a private reading so I could go super into detail, because I would probably give you a 40-minute response on how this affects you, how this affects your child, everything, but I don't have time to do that, and I don't do it unless it's a private reading. I read with 100% accuracy, so why on earth would I give that away for free? Now the world here, this is you. This would tell me that there's some difficulty ahead. It would certainly tell me that there's some difficulty ahead. Interestingly enough. Anyway, 3 in numerology obviously embodies creation, right? Creativity, creation. Pregnancy is creation. Of course, we have deceit, lies, the troubles that come with 3, particularly the 3 life path. Very interesting. Very interesting. We're going to keep going, because I don't want to be. We'll be here all bloody day with just these 3 cards. Ah, the Emperor. It's interesting. Any child born or conceived in 2020, our current year, 2020, is born under the energies of the Emperor. This is a year of law and order, whether it is the lockdowns as a result of coronavirus or the heavy-handed actions of police, politicians, authority figures like the Emperor. Right? The Emperor is a 4 in the 4th position, right after a hidden 3 in the 3 position. Not to mention heavy 1 energy in the 1 position. Very interesting how this is going, this reading. I'm actually a little perturbed about it. But anyway, the Emperor. Any child born or conceived in 2020 is born or conceived under the immutable numerology energy of 4. 4 is law, order, tyranny in a lot of ways, and this energy will affect yourself and your child during this pregnancy. It is interesting to see. God, I wish I could go on for 20 minutes about the Emperor alone as well. This could be a bloody hour-long reading. As for how it affects you and your child, well, that's quite heavy as well. Not something I'd necessarily want to put on YouTube. That's private reading stuff here. Interesting. Anyway, so that energy your child is born or conceived under would heavily imprint under them. And they would either have a positive reaction to it or a negative reaction to it, which would mean that they are positive about law and order. Perhaps they consider a career as a police officer or a lawyer or a politician, something like that. Or they totally reject it. And perhaps they embrace a 3-life path, one of crime or deceit. Perhaps they are more prone to criminal behavior, activity. And you could tell, if we were to fast forward 2 or 3 years from now, how much your child listens to you, and if they share their toys at the playground or not. Assuming we still have playgrounds in 3 years. And here is the presence of deceit. It is interesting here that we have the 7 of Swords, a card of theft. Look at this grinning bastard here. Perhaps this would be your child if they were born under -4 energy. Stealing. 2 swords belonging to the camp there, belonging to those people in the background. This individual taking 5 of them, leaving with them, traveling with them. He is in motion. 5 is a number of beauty and travel in numerology, the 5th position. Of course, this is a little bit of theft here, right? We have the 5th position plus a 7 value card. 5 plus 7 is 12. We reduce that. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 is crime. Here we have crime. Right next to the Emperor, of course, representative of law and order. So I would certainly say that this indicates someone who is born under the negative side of that energy, of that aspect. It would be interesting to do a private reading for you to see what your child's birth chart, conception chart, what your own chart looks like, as well as do a tarot reading to see what their future is, the future of your pregnancy. Very interesting. Very interesting. The 8 of Wands. Air travel, spiritual growth. I wonder if during this time, during this difficulty conceiving, during this attempt to conceive, during this pregnancy, whether it's good or difficult, no matter what, if the winds of spiritual change have been blowing you in not different directions necessarily, but more a swirling direction. Perhaps you look to the Bible for one thing, maybe the Hindu scriptures for another, perhaps a more esoteric route. I mean, here you are watching a tarot reader regarding your pregnancy. Certainly not a bad thing. I'm here to guide you, honestly. Not necessarily as best I can, because if it was as best I can, this reading would be a lot longer, first and foremost, and, dare I say, I might try to focus on the positive, rather than everything. And that's what I'm here to do, is to focus on everything, not just the positive. There's a reason I have 600 subscribers and like 20,000 people on my email list, because nobody really wants to be affiliated with a channel that tells them the truth, but then they go book a private reading, and they always come back for more. Anyway, so it's fortunate it appears you have good karma, because this is an 8 card. 8 is the number of karma and wealth, ironically. But in this case, it's certainly karma. So do not fear if you're necessarily out of balance, feeling misguided, feeling like you're lacking guidance. I would say that this is certainly a temporary lapse in what you need. And everything will come, hopefully, full circle shortly. Well, I just told you it would come full circle, and here it is. Temperance. in the 7th position, the level head. The card of wisdom, the angel of the divine, the angel of knowledge. There we have, she has her third eye there. Let's start from the top, actually. We have a halo present. The halo and the sun represent divine beginning, divine provenance, energy, birth, rebirth. The third eye, in tune with the spiritual. Remember, we spoke of the spiritual there. Angel wings. Of course, need I describe what being angelic means? I don't think so. We have the pyramid there, the Trinity. We have the cups, mastery of emotion. Water, the sweet of emotion. The giver of life. Ironic for a pregnancy reading. Of course, it's springtime here. The sun in the background as well. The two paths, the duality. 1 foot, dipping a toe in the water, symbolic of giving life. And of course, it's the 14th card. Very interesting. You know, there's definitely a duality here as far as difficulty concerning all things surrounding the pregnancy, but also haze surrounding the child's future and the child's life. Normally I can foresee whether things are positive or negative, but here I foresee both. I see the light and the black, the dark and the white. And I did not mix my words there. I meant them as I said in the order I said them. It's fascinating. I do enjoy when the energies are particularly potent, and it being a 13-day, normally I would not do a reading. In fact, I had just emailed a friend. Well, she's a client who has become someone whom I enjoy talking to. I think you're probably watching this reading right now. I would say your name, it begins with a K, but I won't, because obviously I don't disclose client, but friend in many ways with the honesty that's exchanged. I told her I did not do readings today, but I felt as though I had to do this, and the energies reflected would indicate why. The Magician reversed in the 8th position, oddly enough. This is fascinating. This is fascinating. In fact, I'll have to adjust myself in my chair. Maybe I'll incorporate proper posture for once. I can't remember the last time I sat up. Dear Lord. The Magician reversed. First of all, male energy. But this could also represent God. God in the context of karma. Could represent energy which we have no control over. Similar to the 8 of Wands. Because this is in the 8th position, karma and wealth. But wealth, no. Karma, yes. This is a pregnancy reading. Dear God, karma's heavily present. Many decks, many readers, in fact, suggest that when you are pregnant, you are equally as pregnant with your karma. Which, if this were a private reading, we could go further into that as well. But it's pretty impossible to go into someone's specific karma in a general energy reading like this. This is interesting. In fact, you know what? I'm going to pin this here because if this is not contextual, and again, I spoke of my conflicted energies that I see here, the conflicted black and light, dark and white. And again, that's intentional that I say it in that way. Let us see what the 9th card holds. Oh. Well. Again, that conflict makes itself known. Truly repulsive. The moon. The moon. Which is really an eclipse. You see, what do we have in the background? We have the sun, and in the foreground, the moon. When the moon passes before the sun, that is an eclipse, yes? And you see these dogs howling here, these wolves. You might think that they are howling during the night, but an eclipse will fool animals. Anyone who has a large dog and has witnessed their behavior during an eclipse, they recognize that perhaps the animal knows what's happening and acknowledges the moon's presence, or it fools them, I do not know, and it really does not matter. We have, of course, 2 towers representing duality, the sun and the moon, life and death, positive energy, negative energy, more duality. 2 wolves of different colors. The lobster, the shellfish there, that's something for a private reading. The water, of course, representing life. Again, in the context of a pregnancy reading. Now, do I want to go into depth with the magician here? This is an interesting dichotomy here. I don't necessarily know if I do. No, I'm not going to. There are some things that are best left for private readings. I could go into discussing this, but the problem is I would like to know the specific situation of an individual before I go and relate the meaning of this card to the question, to the person, the client whom I am reading for. There are just some things you should leave alone. You should not put the negativity that this would embody out there in a general energy reading. This is a very specific thing for a very specific situation. And I feel as though you are out there. I'm speaking to you right now. You've watched this for 20 minutes now, 18 minutes. You know whom you are. And I would encourage you to click down below to book a private reading with me, and I can help explain the situation here for you. But otherwise, Pink Quartz, I ask that you hit that like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I do appreciate you putting that positive energy out there surrounding these readings. If you would like if you have a topic for another pick a card reading, please comment it down below. Otherwise, let me know what you thought of this reading, how it might relate to your situation or someone whom you know. And I will see you again with another daily pick a card reading shortly, as well as we will pick things back up tomorrow. I thank you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you again shortly. So we have here, remember when I spoke of the pensive look on this individual's face? The suspect look? Well, it's possible that your partner believes that you cheated, or that you maybe... All right, Red Jade. Let's see what we have in the cards for you today. Quite frankly, it's going to be a curious one. You know, the energies of Green Aventurine and Pink Quartz were a little bit conflicted. Well, actually, no, pardon me. Green Aventurine was straight out the gate, bloody well beautiful, perfect. Green Aventurine... I must be losing my mind. Too much tarot, too many private readings, too much stuff lately. You'd think I was running a zoo, shall we say. A very interesting zoo. Between my students, my own private readings, my students' private readings, which they asked me to review, which, don't get me wrong, guys, I love you, but holy hell, sometimes I think you just have to trust yourself a little bit more, which is something I would advise all of you as well. Trust yourself. God knows, I've never been wrong when I've trusted myself. I don't think you have either, whether you acknowledge it or not. So, let's see what the deal is. This, of course, is relevant whether you are currently pregnant and it's pretty good, whether it's bad, whether you're trying to get pregnant without success, whether you just started, whatever. I mean, we cover all the topics here. We're going to cover everything. And quite frankly, let's just get to it. As simple as that. So, well, all right. Okay, I mean, we're starting off a little bit heavy, certainly. The Nine of Wands reversed. Interesting. So what do we have here? First of all, we have 9, which is a hidden 6. See that? It looks like a 6, right? This is the 9 of Wands. We reverse that. Oh, and we're a 6. What is 6? 6 in numerology is the number of the family, right? So you are either expanding your family or trying to, well, actually it doesn't matter if it's your first or your 10th child. I mean, if it's your 10th, by the way, congratulations. But I don't know why you're here. I feel like if you're having 10 kids, well, you should bloody well know the answer to everything I'm about to say. I feel like you're an expert in creating humans. You're a human factory. Congratulations. But if this is your first or your second, whatever, you're expanding your family. And that is what the 6 signifies here. Now, we have an individual, and forget about gender, because gender in this context is not relevant. A man, behind many wands. Wands are spiritual growth, right? Wands represent the spirit. Bandaged. Bandage on the head. A pensive look on his face. Grasping a wand for support, right? This person is weary, tired, uncertain. Perhaps even pissed off. A little bit of pain behind their mood. This is interesting energy. I would feel that this relates mostly to you if you're either having a bad pregnancy or a bad experience during pregnancy. Under no circumstances is it the child's fault. Or you are having difficulty conceiving. I would say that this energy resonates with you most clearly here. However, if it has been a good pregnancy, or if you have not had any difficulty conceiving, we're going to keep drawing as well, because there are many things afoot here, and we need to be patient with the deck. And here, of course, the Archangel Gabriel makes himself known. Remember the old Johnny Cash lyric, and Gabriel will blow his trumpet and bring these walls down. I believe it's God is going to cut you down is the song that lyric is from. I think that's Johnny Cash originally. Anyways, the Man in Black. I highly recommend you check him out if you've never heard of him. This is the 20th card. 2. 2 plus 0 is 2 in numerology. 2 is peace. Ironic that we draw it in the second position. 2 in the 2 position. Fascinating, isn't it? That we have English, 20 here. What do we have? We have the Archangel Gabriel blowing his trumpet, the cross and flag of St. George, the Saint of Mercy, and of course humanity. You, yourself, etc. That's a heavy card to have in the second, to have anywhere, but in its place in the second position of peace. Huh. Very interesting. So we have already 2 conflicting dualities here. We have peace, judgment. Oh, actually, this could have a heavy impact on karma. This could be heavy karmically. Interesting. I want to keep drawing because I don't want to put forward anything right away. So instead, we're going to continue. Okay, the Lover's reversed. In the 3rd position, unfortunately. I can already tell this is not going to be a good reading. It's what you need to hear, but it's not going to be positive. It's not going to be flowers, sunshine, rainbows, all of the garbage these other tarot readers that will never tell you anything negative, all the shit they sell you. It's not going to be that, this reading. I can already tell we have some issues afoot. And I suppose I should have reserved my judgment on the 9 of Wands here until now, but whatever, let me put it forward. First of all, there is doubt, concern, perhaps thoughts of cheating. And perhaps not necessarily you believe that your man is cheating on you or your male significant other, but perhaps he believes that this child may not be his. We have the Lover's reverse, the destruction of a relationship, right? This is in the 3rd position. The 3rd position, oh shit, and it's a 6 reversed. God damn it, this is not pretty. This is not pretty. My apologies in advance, Red Jasper, because this is going to be a bloodbath. This is going to be a bloodbath. So we have here, remember when I spoke of the pensive look on this individual's face? The suspect look? Well, it's possible that your partner believes that you cheated, or that you may be cheating. Something to do here. There's doubt cast on the relationship. Judgment here. Judgment, doubt. The 6, the Lover's reversed in the 3rd position. The 3rd position is indicative of crime, lies, creativity, deceit. Not a very good thing, the 3, in numerology, unfortunately. The 6 reversed. What's a 6 reversed? A 9 reversed is 6. A 6 reversed is 9. 9 is completion in numerology. When a 9 appears in relationships, if the context is harmonious, it will likely mean soulmates, marriage, in eternity together. When it's not harmonious, when it's say someone asks for a private reading, is my partner cheating, and this appears, yeah, they're cheating. Sorry, darling. Especially in the 3 position. So this is 9. This is a 9 card. I would be concerned that this may be the end of your relationship. Which may not be a bad thing. I'm not suggesting that it's always terrible, but there's a possibility. Okay, we may be salvaged here. We may see some salvation. This is the 5 of Cups. This is heavy emotional energy, heavy solo energy as well. A lone figure, clad in black, staring out at a river. Cups, weighing him down. Spilled all around him. Or her, by the way. Please remember, the gender is not necessarily specific. In the 4th position, position of law, order, integrity, strength, tyranny, sometimes too important to remember. All that which the Emperor embodies, might I say. Your newborn child. Likely a son. So I would certainly say without a doubt that if you are not yet pregnant and you are having trouble conceiving, or if you are uncertain when you will be, it is without a doubt in your future. Whenever the page appears, whenever a page appears, or perhaps the 6 of Cups, for example, does not, or the 10 of Cups as well, it does not matter in what context, there is certainly a child ahead here, and I would dare say that it's likely to be a young girl, I believe. Though the page here is masculine, is a man, this cup is the suite of emotion. It's a female suite, the suite of Cups. And there is dominant Pisces energy there as well, by the way. A fish in the cup representing Pisces, of course. So, because it's a young child and because it's a feminine suite, the Cups, I would say that there is likely to be a young girl born here. That's what I'm thinking. It could be a boy, obviously. Perhaps it's a secret 3rd gender. I don't know. But I would bet my money on it being a girl. My gender reveal readings, which I try to avoid doing, but I'll do it. If you want to, you can click the link down below. I'll do it. But I think I'm probably running 80% accuracy on my gender. I usually go with the energies that I feel most dominant, and I'm feeling a feminine energy dominant there in the 5th position. Coupled next to another 5, might I add. Oh, and 5 in numerology is beauty and travel, so you can expect your daughter to be quite the hellraiser, and of course quite beautiful as well. She would find life would be quite kind to her. But it doesn't matter that I've been reading tarot for over a decade, thousands of readings done. The deck will never stop slapping you in the face. The Page of Swords. One might almost say, should I retract what I said prior about the girl and perhaps say, no, this is going to be a female or a boy? But no, I don't think so. I think this is just emblematic of tomboy energy. I mean, if you're a young girl born with influence of Pisces energy, born under the influence of 2020 or conceived under 2020's energies, which is the energy of law and order, everyone born or conceived under this energy will be impacted throughout their entire lives by it. Just as I'm impacted being a dog in Chinese numerology, being born in 1994. Now, interesting, but if you want a private reading, I could go into it regarding your birth chart, your child's birth chart, their conception chart, their tarot reading. There's 1,000 ways you can go there, but at the end of the day, that would take way too bloody long for one of these general energy readings. So tomboy, which is a good thing, We always like the tomboys. So no matter what happens in the course of your relationship, you are strong, right? And you're strong because of the wisdom of your experiences, gained from your past experiences. This is the 8th card, Strength, in the 7th position. A powerful, powerful combination. We have here the Lion, Leo energy, pride, tamed by yourself, the strength you exhibit, the wisdom you exhibit. You see the infinity symbol above your crown chakra? That's a hidden 8. Beauty as well is present, but this is largely karma and wealth. 8. In this context, it is karmic, of course. Wealth. There is no wealth present here. Ah. The 3 of Cups. Yet another 3 makes its presence known. Earlier I had spoken of the fact that there's likely to be an end of a relationship here, some sort of cheating, something going on. And when I see the 3 of Cups, remember crime, deceit, the 3, reversed in the 8th position, a position of karma and wealth, I would say that there is another relationship involved here with your significant other, something that you may not have seen. And if you are shaking your head thinking, what the hell are you talking about? My husband is not cheating on me, blah, blah, blah. Perhaps this is in the context of someone else who needs to hear this. Because remember earlier I stated that this would apply to those who are already pregnant and it's going good, pregnant and it's going bad, can't conceive, about to conceive. Remember, there are many, many, many women watching this right now in many situations. I am merely interpreting the cards for all of you watching. It does not matter if this is a total hit for you, an 80% hit for you, whatever. Those of you out there whom I am speaking to who it is hitting 100%, so far 90%, there's still one card left, remember. Perhaps you know what you need to do, and if you need further guidance, you can always book a private reading. And it would appear that perhaps that might be a wise course of action, given yet another reversal 9. The 9 of Swords, reversed, a hidden 6, the persistence of nightmares, the rejection of nightmares. Fascinating. Fortunately, in this case, it's rejection. What do we have here? A woman sitting up in her bed, Each sword, a moment in the nightmare that cuts deeper into her emotional and mental well-being. We reverse that, of course, and it's rejected. The 9 energy is still present by virtue of the card, as well as virtue of this being the 9th card that we are drawing. Fascinating. Of course, it's really a hidden 6. So these nightmares of the family, these nightmares of the pregnancy, these difficulties, all this too shall come to pass as it is written. Right? Regardless of your faith or your textbook, it is written. We have a 9 here, a 9 here, a 6 here. 9, 6, hidden 9s, hidden 6s. When does it end? 2 in the 2 position. Ugh. Deception in the karmic position. Dear God. Red Jade, this was a fascinating reading, to say the least. Again, if you need further clarity or you have a specific situation, I would ask that you click the link down below. You can book a private reading with me. Otherwise, I ask that you please hit that like and subscribe. It very, very, very much helps the channel. And I thank you so much for your time today and for allowing me to guide you even in the smallest possible way. I do ask that you comment down below what you thought of the reading, as well as if you would like to see something else done in a pick a card reading. I try and do these all the time, and I do take into consideration what you have to say and your ideas surrounding them. So please, hit that like and subscribe again. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. Have a fantastic day. Has made herself known. She has said that you have 2 options here. You have the option of the first half, which is resolving any conflict that has arisen as a result of either difficulties with the pregnancy or difficulties in the relationship that the pregnancy has nothing to deal with. It's just... regular quartz. It's a pleasure. You know, this is the first time that I think I've incorporated you in a reading in, well, quite some time, in fact. It's certainly been a while, to say the least. So, very, very interesting. I look forward to this, you know. But quite frankly, anything would be better than the rather dour, deceptive energies of Red Jade, the conflicting energies of Pink Quartz, and we should seek to match the positive energies of Green Aventurine. So there, I've spilled the tea for you. Now let's see what your reading holds for you. And please remember, though this is a pregnancy reading, the gamut it encompasses is women who are currently pregnant and it's going well, are currently pregnant and it's going not so well, are attempting to conceive without success so far, or have successfully conceived and it's going to be their first time. Maybe they're 2 or 3 weeks in, who knows? I don't know. What I do know is that I'm going to tell you exactly what the cards say, whether you like it or not. And if you need further clarification, you can click the link down below to book a private reading. Because remember, these energies are specific, but they're still general in some ways. And sometimes, in order to finely tune the reading to give you exactly the answer you need, not the answer you want, the answer you need, right? I will tell you the truth. I will tell you what the cards say, the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. But if you want to know what you need to tell me your specific situation. If you're having difficulty conceiving, I can tell you why. If you're having difficulty during the pregnancy, we'll see what the cards say and I will tell you. Right? There are many, many ways. If it's going good, let me consult the cards. Let's see why you have the energies of Demeter and things are going so well, right? There are many, many, many situations afoot. We have to forget, we have to remember to forget complexities. Now, okay. Well, are you by chance fighting off 7 different men who all want to get you pregnant at the same time? Now, maybe that's a disgusting thought, but, I have done readings for women that ask me whom they should have their child with. There are many of you out there who are obviously so beautiful. You're the modern-day Helen of Troy. You have countless men fighting over you. And I would say that's the 7 of Wands embodied. Now, of course, that is quite the scenario. So if you are Helen of Troy, comment down below, let me know. I'd like to know how you look so good after 2,500 years. But what do we have here? We have an individual bearing a wand, fighting off 6 other wands. Right, so this is a 7. So we have 6 wands here. 6 is numerology, is the number of the family. 1 wand here in an individual's hand. Forget about gender. Interesting. The 6 against the 1. I wonder if there's an element of ego, an element of pride, or an element of false concern that life will change so much with this pregnancy, right? Because it is obvious. I would suggest that 90% of you watching this probably want to be pregnant or are already pregnant. Very rarely do I have someone come to me with a private reading request that needs a question answered revolving around a unwanted pregnancy. Very rarely do I hear anything about unwanted pregnancies. So I would assume that, I wonder if your male significant other, whether it's husband, boyfriend, baby daddy, Agamemnon of Troy or Greece, who knows? Perhaps, I don't bloody know, but is it your first? And if it's not your first, is it another one that might cause strain? That might cause concern, whether it's financial, spiritual, material, whatever it is. Obviously a child is an enormous undertaking regardless of number. Okay, the 4 of Swords. I wouldn't be too pleased about this either. In the second, reversed by the way, in the second position. Not the best. This is an individual lying in comatose state, literally lying in stone, in a grave, mind you. 4 swords on the wall. It would appear to be some sort of religious building, from what we see there. Now, what is the context present here? Well, there is something that must be resolved. Whether it's an issue or a mere conversation, some sort of action must be taken here, and it's not being taken. It's not being taken. Fascinating. I don't want to comment too much more on that. I want to keep going because I have so many things I want to say. I have so many things I want to say. But again, the reason I do tarot professionally as a private reader, as someone who reads and just does this YouTube thing for a hobby, because I'm tired of seeing terrible, dishonest tarot on YouTube. I hate it. I'm trying to crusade against it. That's why I'm on here doing this. It's not worth my time financially. Not even close. But here I am doing it anyway, because I do want to help people. But there's too much to be said here. Too much to be said here. And honestly, I feel like if I was to go into the tirade of this, first of all, it would be 25 minutes. Second, I'd probably get banned on YouTube. Speaking of a ban on YouTube, a 6 reversed in the 3rd position. Yet again, linking perfectly with the 7 and the 4 present here. Unbelievable. So, the 3rd position in numerology. Lies, crime, deceit, creativity, which is a necessary ingredient in the cake of lies and deception, right? The flour of creativity mixed with the eggs of lies, maybe the icing of deception, the sugar of sweet nothings, shall we say? Splenda, perhaps? Disgusting. Almost as bad as stevia. Now, 6 of Wands here, present. This is pride, this is ego, this is vanity. Any of you with a history degree might recognize this figure as Julius Caesar, right? And you see those 2 laurel wreath crowns? Those indicate victory. Now, for those of you who have no idea who Julius Caesar was, he was a general in ancient Rome who brought Rome many great victories in battle. Now, how does this relate to your current pregnancy situation? It does. Bear with me. Don't click off because you're bored to hell with my history lesson. Pay attention, please. This is important. Remember the Johnny Cash lyric, the biblical lyric as well? Death came riding on a pale white horse. We have a 6 and a 9 here present as well. Oh my god. I'm sorry, but I could go on this for 30, 40 fucking minutes here. Dear God. And pardon the language. I don't mean to swear. But, oh my god. And we're in the 3 position? Okay, so let me tell you something right now. A little numerology lesson. We have the 3rd position, a 6 card. That's really a 9 card. 3, 6, 9. Right? That's the trine. 3, 6, 9. Trine. There's a problem here with vanity, with ego, and with a partner. It takes 2 to tango, 2 to make a baby, a man and a woman. There's one of you, there's some issues. One of you, there's some issues. And I would love it if this was a private reading because we could work through them. Could get you the answer you need, that's for sure. Oh, speaking of the answer you need, the Chariot. The 7th card in the 4th position. Knowledge, that's the 7. Law and order. Tyranny. Establishment, that's the 4th position. A little bit of duality there. Heaven, hell. Light, dark. Good, evil. I could go on about that for a bloody hour too, but I'm not going to bother. Instead, we're going to keep going because there's an answer here for you. And so far, there's conflict. Whether you know it or not, because remember, take it from a man, right? Take it from me. When I say that, men, of course, obviously have feelings. Sometimes women forget this, but no, we have feelings too, you know. We just don't vocalize them at all, most of the time. Not only because it's stupidly perceived as weakness, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's not weak to express feelings. Take it from a Cancer rising. It's not weak to express feelings. But there's an issue here, and it's going to cause a division, might cause to drive him away. In fact, the Chariot represents automobile, car travel. Could represent you driving him away. Oh, God. The 8 of Pentacles in the 5th position. Money is likely tight, and if money or the relationship, or both, are strained, and 5 is beauty and travel. So he could, of course, travel. I don't necessarily know the context of that departure. I don't necessarily know the context of the departure. Could be financial. I like to think that it's financial, but remember, he could tell you that he has to go somewhere for work, and he could put it under the guise of, I need to make some money for the baby or something, right? But he could really be seeking to get away from the strife that's being caused as a result of this pregnancy, as a result of the difficulties in perhaps getting pregnant. Again, I really wish this was a private reading, because then I could narrow down to your exact situation, because I already see 4 different meanings here. Truly 2 different meanings that are 2 meanings that are truly different from each other, right? Like black and white, 2 different shades, very obvious, right? But then it's opaque white and ivory white. It's midnight black and velvet black. Do you know what I mean? 2 different versions. I wish I could give everyone in the world a private reading, and then maybe I could bring about world peace. Who knows? Probably not. I would probably drive half people mad. Nobody wants the truth. Except for perhaps the goddess Fortuna. She often makes her presence known when she can tell I'm getting a little bit irritated. And so of course I speak of multiple options, and she presents to me literally the wheel of options. The Wheel of Fortune. Not to be confused with that terrible daytime show that airs after Maury Povich. Rather this. In the 6th position, nonetheless. Thank God, but it would appear, darling, that you can salvage this entire thing. 6, remember 6 is the number of the family in numerology, right? So you have a chance here. Your family can go either or. You can have a loving, good, healthy relationship, family, whatever, happiness, blah, blah, blah. Or it can be the opposite, negative, strife, divorce, hatred, all of these things, these horrible, horrible, horrible things, this generational curse of broken families, right? You need to get out of this. We have to put an end to this, right? Family should be intact and whole. Terrible. It can go either way regarding the fate of your family. I wish, again, this was a private reading, I could tell you what happens. Yet again, the man striking out on his own, but for all the wrong reasons. Did you make the wrong choice here? Are you going to make the wrong choice? I wonder where you are in the reading. I really do. Anyway, a man, misguided. That's why the wands, that's why this is reversed. The desert, where he goes, there is no life. There is no life. Certainly no new life. Regarding your pregnancy, that's new life, right? Oh, the end of the relationship. A divorce, a breakup, a separation. The 2 of Cups, the emotional split. In the 8th position, that of wealth and karma. In this case, karma. There was an issue here that was not dealt with. It could have been resolved with a conversation. Unfortunately, it was not. Shame. Truly a shame. Last but certainly not least. Oh my. Well, the 8 of Swords in the 9th position. 9 is the final energies. Here, of course, is yourself, bound, blindfolded, out in the water at low tide, surrounded by swords. Cast out from the city behind you. Interesting. This is a warning. Evidently, the goddess Fortuna, a female goddess, by the way, has made herself known. And she has said that you have 2 options here. You have the option of the first half, which is resolving any conflict that has arisen as a result of either difficulties with the pregnancy or difficulties in the relationship that the pregnancy has nothing to deal with. It's just if these issues aren't resolved, then the Wheel of Fortune will turn and your fate will be that of someone who is by herself with her child. And if you think this is incomprehensible, well, everybody knows someone who is blindsided by divorce, or heard of someone. If this issue is not resolved, if you resolve it, things will be fine. That's what the goddess's presence in the 6 tells us. She tells us that if the necessary actions and steps are taken, she will ensure the wheel turns in your favor. But if not, unfortunately, you will be alone with your back against the wall, and every time you move, you'll be cut by the past. Quartz. this was a fascinating reading. I wish it was private. By the way, click the link down below if you want to book a private reading. Remember, if I know your specific situation, this can give you the exact answer you need. I just need to know it because I'm not going to make this video 1 hour long describing each individual scenario. I have way too many private bookings, way too many students to teach, way too much going on. I cannot do that. And I just don't have the damn time. You know what I mean? I don't have the damn time. But otherwise, guys, hit that, ladies, I should say, hit that like and subscribe, please. Put that positive energy out there for me. It really helps the channel. As well, comment down below what you thought of the reading. And if you have an idea of another pick a card you would like me to do, just let me know. Comment down below. I read this comment. Someone said about pregnancy. Now here I am doing it. Carrie, by the way, I feel like you might be watching this, so shout out to you, darling. Anyway. And Stephen as well, my friend, if you're watching this, I hope you're well. Anyway, have a fantastic day, everybody. Thank you so much for your time.